We're back today with another race in FFRL Fast Fridays Racing League Tier 2, and we've got the fourth round of the season today, then the Hungarian Grand Prix. And yep, we're coming here off the back then of what was a disappointing race last night in Singapore. We had obviously the highs of Imola a fortnight ago, and then the lowest of lows, I guess, in Singapore last week with the crash that we had, completely unforced, and ruined what had been a good race up to that point. We were running sort of in the podium fight, and came away from the main race empty-handed, but at least we did score the 4 points in the sprint race, so we didn't come away from that event totally empty-handed, but certainly was far from ideal. Then we threw away a lot of points with that mistake, so we really want to just try and put that right today, then try and make up for it, and try and get back to the kind of form that we had in Imola. Although, like I said, I feel like Imola was quite a surprise result there. I think a lot of things all went in our favour a bit, and I think we'll be just hoping to be back in the podium fight. That's sort of where I was hoping to be sort of at the start of the season, and it certainly looked like that would be the case back in Singapore. As we see then, we qualify, well actually ninth in the end because Mando pipped us. Finally ends our run there of starting every Grand Prix in 5th so far in this league. We've dropped down a bit this week, down to 9th, as we had Game of Plays and continue in his form there with pole position, and it was a new driver of the Menace in 2nd and another new driver of Ben in 3rd. As we see now then, going to the grid, it had been shown rain forecast during qualifying, but then when I was looking at the forecast here, no sign of any rain, so I thought, mediums to hard is probably the best way to go. But then when I backed out of it like a minute later and looked again, it suddenly showed rain now, so that was weird, and nearly prompted me to make a different strategy call there, because I decided, what with the rain coming, that it'd actually be better to go for the hard tyres then and try and make them last until that rain shower came, because I'd figured we probably would be going over to Inters for a bit. So that wasn't ideal there. I mean, I'm glad I did notice that, and well, double check the weather forecast anyway, because we could have ended up with what I think would have been the wrong tyre call there. But we are starting on the hard tyres then, so is our teammate Mando then alongside us there in 8th place, so it'll be a bit of a race between us then, because obviously only one garage to serve the pair of us then, so if we do have to come in on the same lap, then that could be, something to watch out for there. As we are lined up now then on the grid, and we are just waiting for these last few cars to line up, and we've got the lights coming on now. And the Grand Prix is underway then, and we've had a bit of a slow start there, although a little bit better than Mando there, but Red Bull there lining up the rears a bit. There's a lot of ghosting going on, but then the car started to solidify there as I was going alongside my teammates, so I decided to back out of that one, and then we were just a little bit forced out there on the outside line, and it looks like Kieran has overtaken us then. As we head towards turn 2, we are on the inside line, but there's just nowhere to go in this very narrow circuit here then, obviously sometimes described as like Monaco without the barriers, but you can just see there's nowhere to go, and we're just having to tuck in behind then at the moment, as Mando did go out a little bit wide there, but just about, I was going to say just about holds on to it, but no, Kieran did manage to capitalise on that one then, and go through them up into 8th place. Obviously a tyre advantage there, and it wasn't entirely unexpected, I guess, to be losing a little bit of ground at the start then, because it was a bit of a mixed bag. Not everyone went for the hard tyres. Some people did decide to just stick with medium. I don't know if they were seeing the weather info that I was seeing at the start there as well, with no rain, but I couldn't see why it may have misled some people, as Mando there for some reason just backs off there. Not quite sure what happened then, but nonetheless we got through and up into 9th, so we have made up a position then, as we see then a replay of the start, and just a lot of ghosting going on at the start there. Not quite sure what that was all about. I don't think there was a setting on that would have enabled that, but it looked like everyone was sort of turning solid right as I was going alongside my teammate there, so I sort of had to back out of it a little bit, and it compromised slightly there towards the first corner, but like I say, I think we were always probably going to be quite likely to lose a position there, what with some people starting on mediums and us going for the hard tyres there, so we'll just have to try and settle in now then and just make sure we're looking after these tyres. As on lap 2 then Kieran loses the back end there in the right hander, and that allows us to get through. Bit of a nervy moment there because I'm not sure, I think well he did ghost, but I'm not sure if he was ghosting as I was going past there, so we had to take a bit of avoiding action as we skip on to lap 5 now, where the safety car has been deployed for an incident near the back. Now then, I don't think for us there's any reason to be pitting here, so yeah, we'll be staying out. But maybe for some people who started on the soft tyres, this will be a chance to get those on then and try and, well, get the hard tyres on and try and make them last until the rain comes down. Looks like we've got Foster now, I believe, in the Mercedes has come in, and on the next lap as well, Jet in the Haas also comes in as well, so we will have gained a couple of places then during this little safety car period. So yeah, there's just no reason for us really to be pitting there, and yet we are indeed up to 6th place then for this restart now then, with Gamer Plays still in the lead at the moment then, so yep, they've really just continued on as they left off in Singapore there then. But yep, obviously with the safety car everything bunches up once again, so yeah, it puts us back into play a little bit more then, as we had been dropping back a little bit then, obviously starting a little bit down in the pack. As yeah, we're waiting for this race restart then, and Game of Plays leaving it until right at the last second there to get going again, and we nearly had a look at W there, but we had to back out of it because we were going to overtake too early there. So yeah, had to back out of that one then, and we couldn't quite get the move done into the first corner there. And yeah, we're just going to have to sit in behind for the time being. That's pretty much what we've done so far in this race really. So difficult to overtake here, and obviously even more tricky when the car in front also has DRS as well. So yeah, we've been struggling to make any progress so far as we skip on to lap 11, and yeah, it's just the same story as it has been in all through this race so far then. Ben up in front does have a 3-second penalty, so that should hopefully be a place game for us then if we do stay in touch, as W is up the inside then, but I think just misjudged that a bit and slides off the road. I think did just about keep out of the barrier there though, impressively, so yeah, it shouldn't hurt them too much, but it's certainly cost them the position to us then, and we're up into 5th, and we're looking a lot quicker than Ben here, and in fact we've got a great run up the hill towards turn 4 here, and round the outside where we just carry a little bit too much speed there, run off the track, and I didn't really think it was fair to keep the position that way, so yeah, going on this next turn I did decide to ease off there to let them back through, because yeah, I think we completed that move by carrying too much speed into the corner there, so yeah, didn't feel right to keep that place there, so decided to give it them back, and well, I was going to say go for the move again down the pit straight, but then they actually pitted at the end of that lap, so that is going to be a place game for us then, up into 4th place. But yeah, you can see the front runners already running off, well, out of the front, and yeah, we've got quite a bit of ground already to make up then, and yeah, making mistakes like that into the first corner certainly won't do us any favours, but yeah, we thankfully weren't passed by a teammate there. And on to lap 13 then, when we've got the Menace in the pits, and has also picked up a 10-second penalty there for, well, I assume it's speed in the pit lane, so that's probably going to be quite likely to take them out of contention for the podium battle then. And yeah, we're catching up to Rowley now then, who started on the medium tyres then, and is still going on that same set. So yeah, they've done well to hang on to them, but yeah, they're just really struggling for pace now then, as we wait for this rain to start coming down. We're expecting it some point quite soon, but yeah, it needs to be like now for Rowley, basically on those very old medium tyres, as we've got a very good run there, and we've just got so much more pace now than on the hard tyres, and through we go then quite comfortably in the end into 2nd place. But you know, these hard tyres struggling a bit there as we lit up the rears coming out of the first turn there, but yeah, just so much of a pace of advantage over the mediums at the moment, and yeah, it was quite a straightforward move then in the end. But yeah, Game of Plays nearly 8 seconds at the road at this point, so it's looking quite unlikely that we're going to be able to reel him back in here then, especially given the pace he's shown both in this race and also the previous one. We skip on to lap 19, where we would be coming in around about now to go over to mediums, but now the rain is starting to come down, so yeah, it's very much looking like it was the right decision to start on the hards then and just try and make them last as long as possible. trying to look at the weather report, but my engineer's trying to call me in. But yeah, it took until lap 22 for me to finally decide that it was time. We were just really struggling on the hard tyres at this point, really sliding about quite a lot, which I think was mostly down to tyre wear, but it felt like if we were going to pit, it might as well be now for the Inters, because yeah, we were just really struggling, sliding about quite a lot, and it didn't feel worth it to keep trying to fight them, you know, around the lap. Even though we were in a fairly comfortable position there, had a few seconds over Mando, and we weren't really in a position to be putting pressure on Game of Plays, so yeah, we weren't under like a lot of pressure there, but it just felt like it wasn't worth it to keep on trying to fight those tyres. So yeah, we're going to come in for Inters now then. Interestingly there, Liam behind us has come in and put medium tyres on, which I wondered if that was a mistake, but that was an intentional call from them, so yeah, that was quite interesting there then. So obviously this was, we saw in the forecast, it was only a brief rain shower, but I still felt that, you know, going over to Inters now would be the best thing to do. Even if it was, you know, a brief shower, you know, I remember Martin Brundle saying many years ago, you know, the trip to the barrier is very brief as well, so yeah, you've got to be on the right tyres at the right time. And yeah, Rolly is in now then finally for the intermediate tyres on the next lap, and we have really caught up to Kieran now then. We're really catching up to Rolly as well, but I think that was mainly just because those mediums were so old there that we were just reeling them in by several seconds a lap. But yeah, I think Kieran's on quite old tyres here as well, so we are catching quite quickly as yeah, we go over to the Inters now having the advantage. And yeah, through turn 3 here we should have a good run up towards turn 4, and yeah, Kieran really sliding about there, so we should get this done now then. As we're on the outside into turn 4, and there's a little bit of contact there, but we've managed to make the move stick, and we are back up into the podium places then, with both Game of Plays and the Menace there still to pit. The Menace with 13 seconds of penalty, so yeah, like I said, I think that's probably taken them out of contention there then, as yeah, we left plenty of space there. I think that was just Kieran just on the wrong tyres at the time there, and just yeah, just understeered there. I don't think there's any kind of wrongdoing from anyone in that little collision there, and nonetheless though, we both came out of it unscathed and we got the position. So yeah, we're up into 3rd place then, and yeah, Game of Plays is now pitting, and so is the Menace. But yeah, this could be interesting then, because obviously we've been on these tyres for a couple of laps more at this stage then, so we'll see if we have gained any kind of advantage from staying out, well, not staying out, from pitting earlier. This Game of Plays who stayed out longer, and it could so nearly have cost them there then, because, well, we were like about 10 seconds behind I think by the time we pitted, and we've got the gap down to less than 3 now, so yeah, that was quite crucial for them that they did pit there, or else they would have certainly lost the lead. But yeah, it's very much looking like the Inters are the right tyres to be on now. And it did look like it was going to be a quiet run to the end of the race, but then yeah, the rain did ease off. I think it was definitely the right call to go over to Inters, but yeah, it did dry off again by the time, well, before the end of the race, and it was, yeah, certainly not worth trying to stay out here. I mean, we could have done it and gone into the lead, but I don't think there's any chance we would have held it, because yeah, just with 5 laps to go, you more than offset a pit stop with the, you know, the advantage that you get from the soft tyres over the Inters for the 5 laps there. So yeah, it was very much, I think, the right thing to do here to pit. I don't think there would have been anything to gain from trying to stay out there and keep the lead. So yeah, we got then, well, we stay in 2nd place then. Rolly is up to 3rd and Menace up to 4th, but I think Mando should have both of them then in this final, in these final few laps. And you know what, I completely forgot to mention, I did actually briefly put it at the end of the last video, but me and Mando are now the full-time Aston Martin drivers, so yeah, I'm sorry, I completely forgot to mention that, but yeah, it's because I thought I'd mentioned it before, but it was only in like a brief thing at the end of the last video. But yeah, this has been a good team result for us then, as yeah, Game of Plays has looked dominant up front, so yeah, there's been no chance for us to try and put the pressure on him there, and it was a bit of a quiet run to the end then in 2nd place, but you know, still a good result and a good way to bounce back from Singapore there. But yeah, another dominant drive then from Game of Plays. I think I mentioned in the last video that they hadn't had the best start to the season. Well, I think that was just because they missed Imola, so they missed out on quite a few points there, but they had a good race in Suzuka, and then yeah, Singapore they just dominated, and this race they dominated as well. So yeah, they're looking very good at this stage then. But yeah, for this new Aston Martin pairing then of me and Mando, which was the Haas pairing that finished 1 and 2 in Imola. Yeah, it's a good start for us then. Obviously, as I mentioned before, when you're a reserve, you score points for the team you're driving for. So sadly, we can't carry the points over from Haas from that Imola race. But still, you know, this is a good start to the Aston Martin pairing then. Especially because in this league, second and third are a lot more valuable than they are in real F1. So yeah, that's a good haul of points that we scored there. There are the confirmation then of the final results, with Gamer Plays taking the victory, me in second, Mando third, and Incumbent Wolf then from 11th on the grid was fourth and also took a bonus point for the fastest lap there as well. Rowley in fifth in the end. I actually did only do the one stop, which is quite impressive really to still end up in fifth there, because yeah, I think there were like two very key points in the race where it was certainly like the right call to come in and change to a different compound, but yeah, they've still managed to get a decent result from only doing one. Silver Tombstone in 6th, Retro GG 7th, the Menace on debut in 8th, Taze, Liam, Jet and Kieran rounding out the points finishers. And actually it was quite a good turnout, and you know, good number of the grid finished in the race, although I don't know if, I think some of them might have disconnected to be fair, but certainly 18 cars crossing the finish line then with just the one DNF of Fostinel in the Mercedes. Once again, at the time of recording, I don't know exactly what the championship standings are, but they could be on screen right now, and if not, then I'll put them in the comments. But if I do some quick maths, the pole and the win for Game of Play should put them on to 78 points. For us in second, we should be on 65. Mando with that third place should be up to 60, but Rowley with that fifth place should still be leading the way on 86. So it's all still looking pretty close then. Obviously only 10 races in this season, so yeah, with 6 rounds to go, it's all looking still quite up in the air, but obviously Gamer Plays, you know, the driver in form at the moment. I don't know if there'll be any kind of tier changes, because you know, their pace has looked very strong compared to everyone else in the last couple of races, or you know, they might just, because it's a short season, might just let it play out as it is. I'll see, even if I don't really have a chance of realistically, if Game of Plays keeps up this kind of pace, I do kind of just like it when, you know, things are left to play out. But you know, I could understand why they might want to promote Game of Plays there, because they have looked very quick. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. For now though, I'm just happy that, you know, we've put to bed any kind of demons from Singapore there, and really put in quite like a redeeming performance there. Scored some good points and still looking quite good, and you know, had another really good clean race there. So yep, just continuing to enjoy racing in this league so far, and yep, long may it continue. So yep, hope you've enjoyed it as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week then for what is the United States Grand Prix then at Austin. Thanks again for watching, and see you for that one.